Hey everybody, Greg Davis, SuperAffiliateRockstar.com. I'm here to do this video to talk about how to scale. Okay, one of the number one questions that I get from people is, Greg, how do I scale my campaign? I'm making $100 a day. I'm making $300 a day. I'm making 300 or $500 a day. How do I scale it up into the thousands? How do I do 5,000 a day, 10,000 a day? That's like the number one question a lot of people have. And so today, for free, I'm going to give you some of my tips for how to scale. Okay, how to go real big, how to 10x your traffic, 10x your profits, and end up with a big pile of cash. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, one of the main tenets of media buying is traffic plus conversion equals cash. Okay, that's how it was taught to me by Lloyd Irvin, one of my mentors, who was taught to him by Ken McCarthy, who through Lloyd and through became one of my mentors as well. But I kind of flipped it around because, in my opinion, conversion is the most important thing. You get it conversion right, then you add a whole bunch of traffic, and then that equals cash. Okay, so conversion plus traffic equals cash. So, because to me, conversion is the key. Okay, conversion is the key to scaling. That throws off a lot of people because they just think, well, it's all about just pile on traffic, different traffic sources, different ads, just different, just more traffic. And that's not necessarily the case because it's for me, it's really hard to scale really big uh, unless your page, unless your ad is converting extremely well. Okay, I would say minimum you're getting 100% ROI. Okay, so minimum you're doubling your money. I think if you're doing that, then you do have some room to scale because here's the thing: almost 100% of the time, as you scale, as you get more traffic, your ROI is going to go down. Okay, for various reasons, but a lot of it has to do with the fact that as you try to get more traffic, you're probably going to get more lower quality traffic. That could be the case also in order to scale. Sometimes you have to pay more for the traffic, so that's a big a big deal as well. So in order to be able to handle those things, your ads need to convert extremely well. Okay, so how do we make that happen? Well, the way we make it happen is through testing and tracking. Okay, especially testing. Okay, I mean this is probably one of the things that really separates me and my clients and my students from everybody else is that we test relentlessly, rigorously. Okay, heavy duty. All right, and we do split testing. Ads. Um, and and also tracking. I mean, tracking is a necessity for paid traffic. Okay, but the secret sauce, the main thing that really sets me apart and sets the people that I teach apart is multivariate testing. Okay, so everybody knows what split testing is. Okay, A/B split testing, like you have two different pages, and so you send traffic to both of them. Then the page that converts the best is the winner. Okay, which it's fine. That's most people do that. I mean, that's what you should be doing as a ultimate minimum. But multivariate testing is where it's at. Okay, and let me explain to you how this works. So let's just say you have a landing page and you want to test three different headlines. Okay, with three different headlines. So what you have to do when you split test, you have to make three different pages. Okay, so you have to make three different pages. Each page has a different headline. Okay, well, let's just say it also has a sub headline. It tests the sub headline as well. So you want to test four sub headlines. Okay, so now you need you still need the three for the headlines times another four for the sub headlines. Okay, so now you got to make 12 pages. Okay, so it's kind of getting out of hand now. I mean, you got to 12 pages. It's quite a bit of work. But what if you also have an image? Okay, if you have an image that you want to test as well. So let's say you want to test three images. All right, so now you got three times however many you already have, which is 12. So now you got 36 pages. Okay, you got 36 pages that you want to make. And you're only testing three different things. Okay, and only, two or three or four variables within those. So as you can see, if you try to do that with split testing, it is going to be extremely difficult. It's going to be a lot of work. creating all these pages. Okay, well, multivariate testing takes all of that out. Okay, so instead of having 36 different pages, you have one page. Okay, you have one page, and then you have the headlines will rotate. Okay, you'll have a headline that rotates on the page. You'll have a subheadline that rotates on the page, and then you also have an image that rotates on the page. Okay, so you have those three different elements that you can test, and then you test. But you're not limited. I mean, like you can have 10 headlines if you want. You can have 20 headlines if you want, and 10 different pictures. I mean, you can test a lot of stuff. So multivariate testing, as you can just see from that example, is way, way, way more powerful than split testing. Okay, so if you're not multivariate testing, I guarantee that you're leaving money on the table. That whatever, even if your landing page is converting great, it can be converting better. Okay, and again, a big part of scaling is this testing, because if you're going to be heaping on loads and loads of traffic onto your page, you want it to convert as well as possible. Okay, because again, like a big part of making money isn't necessarily getting the most traffic, but converting. Okay, converting the traffic that you do get. All right, and so this is super, super important. So multivariate testing, the secret sauce. All right, so let's talk about some other ways that you can scale. Okay, so the other way is, and this especially applies if you have your own product, but you got to have a big back end. Okay, what do I mean by back end? I mean like something like an upsell. Okay, so say for example, say you have I don't know, say you have a weight loss product. Okay, so you have a weight loss product. It might be info product. It might be a Nutra product. But let's just say, you have this product on the front end and sells for between 50 and $100. So then somebody buys it. So then right after that, you're done selling them the first thing, then you can hit them with an upsell and say, look, we're having this sale now. You can get, 6 bottles, for the price of 3 or something like that. So you get them to spend money. So that's one thing you can do, just to upsell them and get them to spend money. But the other thing too you can have is like, say, in addition to that, you might not pitch this like right after they buy the supplements, but maybe like once you get them on your list and you send them some emails, say you might have some type of weight loss retreat, okay, that you're selling. That's like, 10 grand, okay? And so, every one of those that you sell, that 10 grand is going to go a long way to allowing you to buy more traffic and to spend more money for the traffic, okay? Because, that's going to totally change your numbers, and, you're going to have a big advantage over everybody else, because, each sale is going to mean way more money to you than it will be to them. So therefore, you can spend way more than them. Okay, so that's kind of how that works. Now, you can still do it as an affiliate. All right, so most people are familiar with the step 1, step 2, like pre-sale landing pages for Nutra. So right there, whoever thought of that was brilliant, first of all. But so now, before that you had one product on the page, and so so say that, okay, so say I paid $40. All right, so now with the step 1, step 2, with step 2, you can get another $40. Now you're looking at $80 from that one person, instead of just 40. Okay, so that will allow you to scale. Okay, to add more traffic to it. Okay, another example that I've been seeing lately, as far as affiliates, is some of these ads that basically take you to kind of a blog, and then they have multiple offers on it. So, for example, like it might be it might be some kind of senior thing. Okay, seniors can save on these 17 different things or whatever. So then when we go to the site, most, if not all of those 17 things are affiliate links. All right, so so they'll probably most likely convert on more than one. All right, and so again, that's a way of increasing your value per customer, which is going to go a long way to you being able to scale. All right, and even Dr. Spock knew about it. All right, so what does that mean? What do you think that translates to? I'm rather fond of a sizable gluteus maximus, and I'm incapable of uttering a falsehood. Anybody know? Anybody know? There we go. Yes, I like big butts and I cannot lie. Okay, so bigger the back end, the more traffic that you can afford to buy. Okay, and the higher you can afford to pay for the traffic, which is going to give you a huge advantage. All right. So how else do you scale? Well, you got to expand your audience. Okay. I mean, who's going to make more money? These guys playing in front of us or playing in a club, or these guys, playing in a stadium. Okay. Obviously, the band that's playing in the stadium is going to make more money because their audience is way bigger. It's huge. They got way more people giving them money. Okay, so the same thing when you scale. This right here, might be when you're profitable. You're doing a couple $100 a day. But this one you scale it up. Now you're doing now you're doing $50,000-$100,000 a day. Okay, so how do you expand your audience? Well, part of it is what I call the max out philosophy. Okay, you gotta suck every possible dollar out of the traffic source. Okay, and I I have this thing. I ask myself, like, if I'm doing campaigns with the traffic source, I ask myself, I was like, what would Greg Davis do? Okay, like, would Greg Davis, you know, have maxed this out, or is it more traffic here to get? All right, so might sound silly since I am Greg Davis, but that's kind of how I think. Like, how am I really maxing this out? Okay, so you gotta max out where you are because we're gonna add traffic sources. Okay, but before you do that, make sure you're maxing out the one that you're at. Okay, so this applies especially to smaller countries. Okay, smaller countries, a lot of times, you want to go very broad because if you get targeted for some of these smaller countries, there's very little traffic. Okay, so um, in order to max those out, you pretty much got to go. You got to go real broad. Okay, but you want to exhaust every keyword, every target, every placement, every interest. Okay, I believe in the law of large numbers. Okay, so if you want large numbers of dollars in your bank account, you need large numbers of traffic. Okay, and that in order to get large numbers of traffic, depending on your traffic source, you're going to have to add a lot of keywords. I mean, you can have thousands and thousands of keywords. You can have interest, which we're gonna get into. Placements. If you're on GDN, there's thousands of placements that you can get on that you can get more traffic from. All right, so let's talk about interest. All right, so this is specifically for Facebook. All right, so if you use interest now, I'm not a big proponent of using interest, but so for some niches are more specialized than others, so then you might have to. So if you are using interest, then and you have some interest that can very well for you, you got to find more like it. Okay, so you can think of more yourself, or you could use the Facebook tool to help you think of some. But one other thing that people don't think about is keyword tools. Okay, you can use something like Word Tracker, and you can find other keywords that you can put in that can find similar interests for you. Okay, so and also lateral interests. Okay, so you might have different keywords for stuff. So let's just say, for example, I don't know if you're looking for keywords for like mortgage. Okay, so then a parallel interest might be like it'll be like it maybe could be like home improvement. It could be buying a new home. It could be stuff like that. Stuff that's related to your mortgage. So, but it can have you thinking of more keywords like say in mortgage. You might think refinance. Might think interest rates, mortgage interest rates, stuff like that. So, and this is just stuff that I'm thinking off the top of my head. But if you use a tool like Word Tracker, then it'll give you a whole list of lateral interests that you can possibly use to find more interest. All right, now, like I said, that's if you use interest, but I really recommend that you don't use interest if at all possible, because that's really the key to maximize your traffic to really scale it. Okay, so I try to just remove all interest or broaden them, and then I'll narrow the age and gender. Okay, so now a lot of this goes out the window if you have a seasoned pixel. Okay, if you have a seasoned pixel, if you have a pixel with a lot of data on it that you used before, then you can go broad, right off the top, because then that's gonna find the pixel's gonna find more customers or more leads or whatever you're trying to generate. Okay, so that's super important because like the one other reason why I don't use interest is because like I don't want to limit the pixel, okay, because the pixel is looking at set of factors and stuff that we have no idea how to track. We have no idea. Okay, it could be looking at the best times of day to show the ad, different geolocations. It could be all kind of stuff. So it can, but so the more freedom we give it, then the more customers that's going to find. So so if you're using interest, okay, one technique that you can use to scale is to uh, is to remove is to excuse me, zero in on your most profitable demographic. Okay, so by demographic I mean age and gender. Okay, so zero in on that, and then you can broaden your audience by either removing all interest or broadening them. But we're mostly going to do removing. Okay, now this is a very important concept. So I'm going to show you a quick case study on how this works. Okay, so 15K a day case study. Now this is a few years ago, as you can see, Obama. So this was the ad right here. So basically, this is for like this survival type of product, and so we kind of figured right off the bat that we had intelligence that it was if we targeted conservatives, like they were the ones that bought it the most. So Republicans. So somehow we stumbled upon Sarah Palin. Okay, so we start upon her as an interest. Then plus this picture right here, which that's her head. I don't think that's her body, but whatever. Picture work. This was actually like a right hand side, right column ad. So this was the video. Excuse me. This was the ad. It was to a VSL. This was the landing page. Very simple. Just the image, an image from the video, and that's that. Actually, take it back. This was a banner. This was a banner that was provided with the offer. So that was just use that, and then this was the actual offer page. So it had a video. The guy talking. Yeah, it's called Patriot Survival Plan. That's what it was. All right, so let's look at on Facebook. So originally, like I said, we kind of zoomed in on Sarah Palin. Okay, like she was converting the best, and so again we added some interest. So we got Sarah Palin. So we added Tea Party, all those three Tea Party interests, and so we just went 35 and over. In the United States. So that gave us a potential reach of 4.6 million. Okay, so we quickly realized that men were the ones that are really interested in this. Didn't really work for women, so we narrowed our audience down to 2.2 million just by removing the women. All right, and so now what we did was we looked at 50 plus, and that was like our most profitable demographic. Okay, I think we were doing like we were at this point we were doing like $5,000 per day. Okay, we were maxing out we were spending 1,000, and we're making 5,000. So like 400% ROI. We were like 5xing our money, which was excellent. We were very happy with that. But we weren't happy with with the scalability of it, because 1.3 million people is only going to get you so far. All right, so what we did was we just focused on men over 50. That's our best demographic. So let's just focus on that, and let's just remove the interest. So that's what we did, and so now we have 13.2 million people to sell to. So that's much better, and so it still worked. Now our ROI went down from 5 to 1 down to 3 to 1. Okay, so now, but we had so much more volume that we still made more money. All right, so with this, we spent $5,000 and we made $15,000. Okay, so that's a $10,000 per day profit. Whereas before, we spent $1,000 and we made $5,000, which was a $4,000 per day profit. Okay, so which one would you rather have? And that's the thing too. Like you have to look at the right numbers because some affiliates that I know, some people just become so obsessed with certain numbers like ROI, for example, and they have really super high ROI, which is great. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of times they sacrifice volume for that ROI. Because like I said, volume goes up, generally ROI goes down. But in our case, we had, we were getting, 5 to 1, so we had a lot of room to play with, and it still went down. It only went down to 3 to 1. All right. Another way to scale is to go international. Okay, it's a big world out there. Most affiliates focus on the United States, or they might focus on English-speaking countries, but there's tons of countries out here. So now this only applies obviously if you're the geography, the geo restrictions of your offer. Some offers are just for one country, so you can't really do that here. But for offers that are kind of open, then going global is definitely a good way to go. So one thing you can do to figure out what countries is to, when you first start running your ad, just run it worldwide. Okay, well, maybe worldwide is not a good chance because you'll get some poor countries, but just pick out, say, like a lot of the tier 1 countries, like most of the European countries, the U.S., Canada, Australia. I'll throw in South Africa, Singapore, but you can just come down like the biggest countries, because if you can pick worldwide. Sometimes it works, but you're gonna take out some countries. Like you might have to take out India, because a lot of traffic is gonna come from India, and maybe a couple other countries that don't produce anything. So you could run it like that, and then just see what countries convert, and then add those countries to the mix. So a lot of different ways that you can do it, but either way, you want to add. If you want to, a great way to scale is to add more countries. Now, sometimes you might have to get your creative, translated, but that's not a problem. I mean, there's tons of services that can do that. Or if you know somebody in that country, even better. So yeah, that's something that you can do to scale. All right, so let's look at the big three. These are the traffic sources that I focus on, that most of the people I know that are doing, 5 and 6 figures a day focus on, because this is where the traffic is. All right. So if you look at Alexa, now these three, they shuffle, all the time. Sometimes Facebook is on top, sometimes YouTube is on top, but the top 3 websites in the world are Google, Facebook, and YouTube. Okay. So you need to focus. They have the traffic. They have the traffic in the world. Okay, so they are where you want to go to max out. Let me go back here real quick. So how do you max them out? Well, the main way is to use all of their platforms. Okay, so Google, I mean, like really YouTube is part of Google. I mean, so that's the video platform. But Google also has they have Google Search. They have Google Display Network, okay, or GDN. Okay, most affiliates just use GDN. That's it, GDN, and then some affiliates use YouTube. Most people I see using YouTube are merchants, people that own the product. But you can use that as an affiliate as well. But so once you get something working on one of the platforms, then you need to expand. Okay, so you got Facebook, but you also have Instagram. You also have the different video formats that Facebook has. You have the audience network. So, expand within the platforms that are on these particular traffic sources. Okay, so that's what I mean by, max them out. And it's hard to max them out. Okay, Google search, for example. I mean, you can literally have, thousands and thousands of keywords, generating traffic for you. And same with Facebook. I mean, Facebook, it's like over 2 billion people on Facebook now. Not that they're all real people, but they're still, the vast majority of them, or a good majority of them, are people. So you want to really pay attention to these three and max them out. And I talked about that. Okay, so besides all the different platforms, the main way that you're going to max them out is using multiple accounts. Okay. There used to be a time where you could spend $1 million in one account. I've done it. I mean, I did it, back in the day, but now no such luck. I mean, depending on Facebook, you're lucky sometimes. Well, Black Hat. I mean, if you can spend $10,000, they've been like that actually almost for White Hat stuff sometimes too. But multiple accounts are going to be the key to really scaling up. Okay, because let's just say for Facebook, for example, most of them max out at $5,000 a day. Okay, I wouldn't advise you to actually spend $5,000 a day. I would spend less than that. So let's just say you spend $4,000 a day. All right, so you max out $4,000 a day, and just say you're doubling money, so you're making $4,000 per day in profit. All right, so what if you want to make $40,000 a day? Well, you can get 10 accounts. 10 accounts, spend 40, in each one of them, and you could even take it way more than that. And I know people that spend, not that much on each account, but they might run, 20 accounts, at a time. So there's lots of ways to do it, but I mean, it's hard to scale these days without multiple accounts. Okay, and you also too, just in case you get banned, which is a pretty good possibility if you're an affiliate. Even if you're doing White Hat stuff, multiple accounts is a must. Okay, so you can get multiple accounts. I have several places that I get accounts from that, if you need a hookup, you can let me know, and I can, I can help you out. But multiple accounts are a huge, huge key, and multiplying your traffic. I mean, literally, but the only thing is that the audience has to be big enough. Okay, if the audience is 200,000 people, you're not going to be able to duplicate yourself, over 10 accounts, because it's just not that much traffic. You'll be stepping on your own toes too much. All right, but if it's some huge audience, you got 10, 15, 20 million, then yeah, by all means, you can scale that out with multiple accounts. But it is tricky working with multiple accounts. I mean, a lot of people just put one ad into the same account. I mean, a different account, and expect it to work the same. And most of the time, it does not work the same. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it's just different because most of the time between accounts, you have to change something. You're not going to use the same, domain, the same page, even maybe not the exact same ad. So, and every time you change something, even something little, it's going to have a huge effect on the ad performance. So multiple accounts is a little trickier than it sounds, but it's a must if you really want to scale up. All right, so let me ask you a question. Prior to 2011, what was the number one online activity? What do you think it was? Before 2011. Yep. You got it. Porn. All right, porn up until 2011 was the number one activity people did online. But since then, social media is the number one online activity. So now, the number one online activity is social media. Okay, so social media sites get tons and tons of traffic. Okay, and you got Facebook, but you have all different other ones now. That you can advertise on. Pinterest. We talked about YouTube. There's just so many of them. Twitter. LinkedIn. So lots of different social media for you to choose from. All right, so let's talk about the crux of scaling. Okay, and the key to that is an ad. Okay, because basically what we're going to do is we're going to come with an ad, and when I say ad, it's really the ad and landing page out and offer, the whole thing together. So you can call it a funnel if you want. I mean, it's only a couple steps, but it starts with that ad. All right. So, again, my friend Ken McCarthy, he would always say, a good ad is a good ad is a good ad. All right. And so what that means is that you take that ad and it's good enough, then you can put traffic to it from multiple different sources and scale up. And I've seen that. I mean, I've had, written a lot of ads I've written a lot of good ads, but there are certain ads that stand up above the rest that converted very well. I have them in my ad hall of fame. So, you know, it's all about the ads. We have text ads, mostly for Google. We have hybrid ads, which is a text and a picture, which is like for like native. Then we have banner ads. Okay, banner ads are big and key. All right, one ad can make you rich, and that is definitely true. I mean, I've had single ads that have made multiple millions of dollars for me. All right, one ad. So yes, you don't have to like Mark Cuban say, you don't have to write all the time, but you only have to be right once. If you just get the right ad once, you can make enough money sometimes to support you for a while. All right, so let's look at banner ads. Banner ads are really, really, really key to scaling because there's so much banner traffic available. Okay, there's so much of it out there. So this is how I normally do banner ads. This is my method, but I like to do Facebook ads first because that allows me to come up with a winning image and a winning landing page. I'm saying a winning ad copy. All right, so make a Facebook ad, and then based on the winner there, I would make into some banner ads, and then I start with the Google Display Network. Okay, because the Google Display Network is actually the biggest media buying network in the world. Okay, and it's a lot more forgiving than the traditional media buy. Okay, which I'll explain to you in a second. So what you can do is once you kind of have it dialed in with the Google Display Network, then you can take it as other traffic sources. Now, the other good reason to start with Facebook and Google is so that you can narrow down and get your demographics nailed down. Okay, because if you know what your demographics are, then once you get to just the media buying in general, you can find placements that match, your audience. You match the customers that you're trying to have. All right, so once you have display network dialed in, then you can take that winning ad or ads to other traffic sources. Okay, banners are super scalable. All right, and like I said, there's almost an unlimited amount of banner ad inventory available for desktop and mobile. Okay, now I have this method for how to make $200,000 a month with your own money. All right, and that deals with banners. And testing is crucial. Okay, again, testing is crucial. So you got to test a lot of banners, and until you find the right one. So you got to produce a bunch of them, and then test them. The banners are key, and it's like a lot of people these days don't even run banners. They're just strictly on Facebook, or maybe they might run some banners on GDN. But if you don't have banner ads, you're really missing out because there's just a world of traffic out there that you can get. All right, so hope that was informative to everybody. So what I want to let you know is that I am starting a campaign scaling service. Okay, so if you have campaigns that are already going, whether making $50 a day, $100 a day, $1,000 a day, or even $5,000 a day, I can come in, look at everything, make some suggestions. We can do some testing. We can do some stuff. Some of my secret formula scaling incantations. And and scale your campaign up. All right, we scale it up. The goal. I mean, depend if you're starting low, like in the hundreds and stuff like that, then the goal would be to 10x you. Okay, so if you're doing $500 a day, then our goal will be to 10x you, so to get you to 5,000. Okay, now if you're doing already kind of big numbers, then I'm not might not necessarily be able to 5x you, but at the very least, I want to at least double your profits. All right, I want to double your profits. Notice I say profits and not revenue, okay? Because a lot of times, again, if you can convert better, then you can make a lot more money with less traffic. All right, so how it's going to work is I'm going to look at what you have going on, and then we're going to do some tests. And I'm going to do some test campaigns, based on what you're already doing. We're going to make some improvements, and we're going to show you how to make more money. So So basically, I scale while you watch, okay? And I'm going to utilize multivariate testing to get your pages out there. That's probably like the most important part. The multivariate testing, because once again, you get the page converting really well, and you can scale, that much more easily. All right. So we're going to do extensive ad testing and creation, if necessary. Your ads might be great already, so the ads, might not be the issue. It might be the landing page. But we're going to expand to other traffic sources and platforms. So once we get you rolling on, let's just say Facebook, then we can get you rolling on, make a banner, get you rolling on GDN. All right. Now, this is money back guaranteed. Okay. If the additional profits that you generate are not enough to recover the fee you pay me, then I'm going to give you your money back. Okay. So this is no risk to you. This is no risk. Okay. If you don't make your money back, at least make the money back that you pay me, then I'm going to give you money back. All right. Now, my average expectation is to double your profits. Okay. So even if you're already doing pretty big numbers, most of the stuff that I do, I think I can at least double your profits. Okay. Normally I do better than that, but keep conservative. I'm going to at least double your profits. All right. Now, got a few bonuses to go along with this service. Bonus number one is my 6-figure per day Facebook formula. Okay. So I got ninja tactics for scaling Facebook, targeting like a pro, images, one of my specialties. And I'm even going to share some of my personal secret image sources. All right. Bonus number one. Bonus number two, media buying one-on-one. Okay. So remember I talked about how important banners were. All right. So we're going to have a whole bonus course about banners and media buying. Okay. So bonus three, we got a 10K massive list fast system. Okay. So this is something that we charge $10,000 for at one time. But the best traffic source, hands down, is your own email list. Okay. I mean, if you have your own email list, is an asset. Okay. If it's big enough and responsive enough, you can make a good living just off of your email list. Without even having your own product, you can just sell other people's products and make tons of money. All right. So we're going to show you how to build a huge database fast without using squeeze pages. We're going to show you how to mail your list. And we're going to also show you how to effectively monetize your list. There's lots of different ways that you can monetize your list. I'm going to show you. Okay, bonus 4, power testing blueprint. Okay, now you're going to see this in action when I do it with your campaign, but I'm also going to give you, some content on this that you can, read and study yourself. All right, but like I said, it's the most important part of scaling huge. All right, and so we're going to talk about multivariate testing mostly, and multivariate testing is how I'm able to 10x profits. And now we get to bonus number 5. Bonus number 5 is worth, I mean, $1 million in itself, and I'm not lying. I'm not even exaggerating. So, these are the ninja traffic secrets that I use that allow me to scale campaigns in places where a lot of people can't. Okay, so the first part is the law of large numbers. Okay, so we're going to talk about the law of large numbers, and I'm going to show you how that works to help you scale. Okay, I'm going to show you with examples the real secret from going to 5K a day to 100K a day. Okay, and check this out on the search network. All right, because look, most guys that I know, almost all of them, they, when they do Google, they mostly do, GDN, Google Display Network, or a lot of guys do YouTube too now. But most of them, are doing ads on GDN. Okay, and GDN has tons of traffic, but so does the search network. And a lot of people, it's hard to believe, but I'm telling you, I have generated the most traffic. I've scaled, as far as traffic sources that I've scaled the most, it has definitely been Google search. Okay, we have done, 6 figures per day just on Google search. Okay, so Google search goes overlooked by a lot of affiliates. For one thing, the traffic tends to be pretty expensive, but there are ways that you can get it, fairly cheap, but you can get a whole lot of it. And there's a particular technique that I've been using since 2007. 2007? No, 2009. 2009. It's kind of like a glitch in Google, in Google search. And I used it every year since then, and it's still there. It still works exactly like it did before. The glitch still exists. I mean, I guess it's just kind of, maybe it's not a glitch, but it's something that I don't ever see anybody else taking advantage of. And I mean, I literally have never seen anybody in the whole course of my career ever talk about this, ever teach this. Nobody. I mean, I'm the only one. If anybody talks about it, is they learned it from me. All right, so this is really juicy stuff. This is where it's at right here, and you're gonna get this as a bonus for doing the scaling service. All right, so you can blow up Google search. And the other good thing about it is that it's also very useful for international campaigns as well. You can really blow up, and there's a lot of traffic, a lot of it that does not get bought in certain, smaller countries. But there's a way that you can squeeze a ton of traffic out of even, some of these small countries. All right. So this is what I'm going to show you in this Ninja Traffic Secret Blueprint. All right. So let's see, crush on Google and Facebook, and of course, obviously we've done Facebook. We do Facebook. We do a lot of volume on Facebook. So I'll show you some secrets of crushing on there, and the secret of scaling Google search that nobody's talking about. Okay, so if you think that my scaling service could possibly benefit you, then let's see if it's a fit. And if it's a fit, then let's make a deal and let's make it happen. All right. So, but the first thing that we definitely have to do is to make sure that it's a fit, because I want to make sure that whatever the issue that you have, whatever that you want to accomplish, is something that I can do. Because I can do a lot, but I can't do everything. I'm not good at everything. All right. But as far as scaling on Google and Facebook, I'm very good at that. All right. And so, but still, we need to make sure it's a fit as far as the type of business you have, the type of niche that you're in, and stuff like that. So there's a small little application. You can go to MediaBuyingRockstar.com, and there's like a little consultation form that you can fill out. Then we can set up. We can have a consultation, and then you can kind of show me what you got, or tell me what you're trying to do, and then we can take it from there. And the price is going to vary. It's going to vary based on what I need to do. But I will tell you this, just so that you're not wasting my time, I'm not wasting your time. I don't do anything. I don't do anything for less than $10,000. All right, I don't get out of bed for less than $10,000. All right, so that's going to be like the bare minimum there. But it really depends on how much work I have to do. So so if you want to do the consultation, MediaBuyingRockstar.com, and as you know, one of my Gregisms is money loves speed. All right, money loves speed. You got to implement fast. All right, so this is going to be limited to 2 clients. Okay, so 2 clients only. I do have some extra time on my hands now that we got this whole quarantine thing going on. I can't go anywhere. So I know I can comfortably handle 2 clients to do this, and so that's it. So don't wait around too long, because I think that the 2 spots will fill up fairly quickly. All right, so MediaBuyingRockstar.com. That's pretty much it. So you can hit me up if you have any questions. Greg at superfill@rockstar.com. But go fill out the little form. We'll be in touch. Have a quick conversation. Then from there, we can see if it's a fit, and if I can help you to scale to the moon, baby. All right. Greg Davis signing out. Thanks for your attention. Thanks for your time. Peace.